right, hopping on before work, I want to talk a little bit about Mike Williams and what I think is going to possibly happen. It was reported yesterday that he had a personal day, did not report to practice, and it gets everyone kind of thinking, are there some feelings after the way he's kind of gone through the beginning part of the season, the calling out / accountability factor of the Aaron Rodgers comments post-game this past week, and do we think that there's going to be a trade of Mike Williams? So going back to, obviously last year, tore the ACL. He's coming back from injury. I think he's only going to continue to get better. He didn't have any training camp with us. So really the only thing we've seen from him are these first 6 weeks of the season that you're trying to learn in game with Rodgers at the same time. And I think when you have questionable play calling from Nathaniel Hackett, that doesn't really lend itself to really learning anything. When the offense can't really get going, you're like 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out. But as far as like, are there bad feelings going on with Mike Williams? I think he might be rubbed a little bit of a certain way. Now, hopefully this personal day is just nothing more than like, he's sick. There's some family related thing, but the timing is a little bit odd since we traded for Davante Adams. Like the timeline does seem a little fishy when you consider, all right, Mike ran the wrong route. Aaron Rodgers was purely holding him accountable during the press conference. Maybe he's rubbed the wrong way that he was called out on it, but if you don't run the wrong route, dude, you're not going to get called out on it. So there's that little bit from Mike Williams. But then immediately, like the very next day, not even the very next day, like Davante Adams was basically on a flight to New York at midnight or 1 o'clock in the morning, whatever Rodgers was saying. I don't think that necessarily felt good to Mike Williams. And now you got Aaron Rodgers and Davante living together. And I'm pretty sure I heard reports they're doing karate in the garage and all that good stuff. Step Brothers quote. So look, I don't think Mike Williams should be feeling a certain type of way. I think we're all on the same page as far as, look, we want to try and turn this ship around. We want to try and win as much as possible. And Mike Williams, you could be a very big part of this. I don't know why we're not seeing any 50-50 balls or those big, hey, go up and get it. 6'5" receiver. Just throw it up high. Throw it up high. Let him go jump for it. We keep trying to do all this like reinventing of the wheel with him. And I think it's just easier to get a big man in space. So I don't know. I think there's still going to be room for Mike Williams on this roster, even if you consider like, hey, Rodgers has a good relationship with Lazard, and then obviously Davante and Garrett, and those are going to be the receivers you're kind of seeing on the field consistently. So like, where does Mike Williams fit into the puzzle? Not to mention it's a long season. Guys are going to get hurt. Guys are going to get banged up. We're going to need Mike Williams at some point. From a trade perspective, honestly, I'm a little surprised Williams was not included in the trade to the Raiders for Davante Adams. Tom Telesco, the GM over in Vegas, extended Mike Williams in his time with the Chargers. So him not being involved might tell you that the Jets aren't interested in trading him to begin with. His contract does make it a little bit prohibitive too, because we signed him to like a $5 million or $6 million signing bonus. So if we trade him, we're getting hit with like we're going to lose basically like $3 million or something along those lines if we were to trade him. So if you're the Jets, are you saying, hey, what pick are we honestly going to get back for Mike Williams in a trade? And is it worth it for us to get that pick in exchange for a $3 million cap hit? And I would argue no. I don't think it, unless you're trading Mike Williams for an actual player. Like if you wanted to convince me that, hey, you could get Jadeveon Clowney for Mike Williams, I'd say, okay, I'd probably consider that. I think our D-line is more important than our fourth, or fifth option as far as why like weapons on the offense go. Like you got to think it's Adams and Garrett and Lazard probably before Mike Williams. Then you got Breece and Allen Lazard, and then you could probably argue even Conklin is above Williams in the pecking order of things right now. So I would I don't want to pick because it doesn't help us for this year. I would very much want a player like a Jadeveon Clowney that could help us in some capacity if we were to make a trade like that. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. The absence of Mike Williams, an issue, a thing, or maybe not a thing? Let me know in the comment section down below. And as always, go Jets. Jets!